Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here and welcome back to Forza Horizon 4, where we are going to be doing a follow-up to the previous video that I did covering the new update coming to Forza Horizon 4, featuring new wheels and new painting options for different cars and wheels themselves. Like, you can go into different pieces of the wheels, but if you want to actually review all of that stuff, go back and watch the previous video. But if you're interested in Fortune Island, stay right here because that is what we're going to be talking about. Now, on the recent Playground Games live stream, which as this video goes up would have been earlier today, they talked about a lot of different features of Fortune Island and a lot of different things, revealed a lot of different things that I am very, very, very excited to share with you guys. Now, the Drift Road, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking forward to as a standout feature, they revealed the fact that the drift zone for that road is basically going to be the entire road, and it's going to be around 3 kilometers, I believe a little bit over 3 kilometers long, which is, that's a long drift zone. Like, that is huge for a drift zone. And I'm trying to think right now, if we've ever had any drift zones at all that have ever even come close to that. And I highly doubt that we have. In fact, that adjusts, that 3-ish kilometers adjusts to about 1.8 miles. So, if you think about it, that's almost a 2-mile long drift zone, and that's just ridiculous and insane. Now, some people did have a thing or two to say about it. Some people did have a thing or two to say about the fact that it was a drift zone, because some people are thinking that it might get in the way or make it less fun if you just want to drive that section. But let's be honest here. 90% of the people that are going to spend their time in that section are going to use it for drifting, and if you want to drive it, just drive it. To be brutally honest, like, if you just want to drive that section, just drive it. Now, another big thing that I wanted to talk about is, and I mentioned this in the previous video, a future, like, way in the future update is going to have paintable brake calipers. Again, if you did not see the previous video, paintable brake calipers are being tested in Horizon 4. They will not be in this update or in the Fortune Island DLC, but they will be coming in the future. Now, one of the things that made me most excited when I heard about it was that there will be 2 separate Goliath races. One that is strictly a paved race, and one that is multi-surface. So you've got one that's basically a road racing category race, and you've got another one that's like a cross-country. Now, that's very, very interesting to me because you've got two different dynamics of players, right? You've got one group of players that just wants to do paved stuff, that just wants to do road racing, and that's great. That's fine. But you've also got other players that like the cross-country dynamic and like to have the mixed surface races. Now, personally, I definitely think I'm a little bit more in the asphalt camp. However, the gameplay you're watching right now is of me in my favorite rally car, so I do love the mixed surface stuff sometimes as well. Now, something, though, that I think is going to be a standout feature of Fortune Island is the fact that there will be a narrow road that's only, give or take, 8 feet wide with cliffs on both sides. Let that sink in for a minute. That is, like, what? That's like, excuse me? Are you kidding? Like, what are you talking about? We have never had something like that in a Forza before. That, to me, is like crazy. Now, I believe that road is going to be dirt. I believe that road is going to be dirt, if I remember correctly, from the live stream. And again, all of this information is stuff that I'm relaying to you guys back from the live stream. And I did make sure to really listen in depth and go back and review everything again. But there will be, I'm sure there's going to be a couple details just here and there, just minor things that I might miss. But it should be, all these details should be pretty freaking close. So, again, going back to that road that's, like, got cliffs on both sides and is, like, 8 feet-ish wide, and that's it. I can't wait to see what happens with Unimogs there. And I also can't wait to see how many people fall off. That's gonna be hilarious, to be brutally honest. That's gonna be hilarious to see how many people just either fall off or end up getting pushed off. Can you imagine, like, open lobbies happening on a road like that? It'll be pure chaos, but it'll be pure chaos in the best way possible. Now, there will also be areas that you can get to that are offshore. There'll be little islands around Fortune Island, which is really cool. I did not expect them to do that, and I'm curious as to how they're going to incorporate that into the different races. I bet you that the multi-surface Goliath race will make use of some of those. I'm not sure if it'll make use of all of them, but it should definitely make use of them to some degree. They also have said on the live stream that they're completely redoing Online Adventure, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I don't actually play Online Adventure very much. I mostly play either just races themselves or I just drift, and it's one of those things where, or I just like go online and have fun with my friends, like off-road and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you play a lot of Online Adventure and you know how buggy it is, I know how buggy it is, it's one of those things where it's like, you want them to make sure that they take their time. And they have said that they're taking their time, which is a good thing. They're taking their time. They're making sure that it's going to be well sorted, that they're not going to have any issues with it, that it's going to be something that they can push out to the community and have it be well received from the get-go and technically work. And that's really what you want. You want it to work properly from the get-go, and I think it's a really good thing that they're really kind of giving it a lot of getting it a lot of testing in-house before they push it out. Now, something else that's going to be really interesting is kind of a Drift Club 2.0. The guy that you met in Drift Club is coming back, and that was my favorite Horizon story, my personal favorite Horizon story by far. I loved some of the others. I enjoyed some of the others. There was a couple that I was like, nah, about, like, just kind of iffy on. But Drift Club was the one that kept me coming back because I loved the character that you dealt with, and I loved the missions. I loved the different cars that you got to drive, and it was a really great way for them to say, hey, we like drifting too. You know what I mean? It was a really great way to see them integrate that into the main game, and I really liked what they did and how they did it. And I think that it not only shows that they pay attention to the fact that there's, a lot of drifting in the community, but I think it also shows that it's like they want this game to just be fun for everybody. They want this game to be fun for everybody that plays it, no matter whether you're a brand new player or you're somebody that's been drifting since Forza 2, like me. I've been playing this game since Forza Motorsport 2, and I started drifting right about at the end of my Forza Motorsport 2 kind of play cycle, I guess you would call it, because I started messing around with it in Forza Motorsport 2 and then kind of build onto it from there, made some friends kind of in the community, and then it just kind of like became a community that I wanted to be a part of, and honestly, it just grew from there. So before we get to the end and before we finish up, there are a couple little things that I want to touch on before we finish up, and that is the fact that there's also another paved road that isn't the drift road that actually winds around a mountain. Now think about this. It winds around a mountain, and the developers said on stream, live, they actually said this properly on stream, you can drift all the way from the bottom of this spiral road to the top and then drift all the way back down again. That is going to be insane. I mean, that's some Fast and Furious stuff right there. It genuinely is. It sounds like straight out of Tokyo Drift. Now just let us do that with garages. Please, please, please. Please, 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 please. Garages, please. Well, I say garages. When I say garages, I mean parking garages. But maybe in the future. Who knows? But that's definitely going to be a standout not only feature, but it's going to be a really cool place to take pictures. It's going to be a really fun road to drive, drive or drift, whatever it is that you want to do. I think it's going to be a fun road regardless. They also have said that seasons are going to work just as they do on the mainland on Fortune Island, so keep that in mind. Like there's going to be, winter, spring, summer, fall. All of the seasons that you guys are used to are going to be working on Fortune Island just as they would on the mainland, because that is a detail that I was very curious about because I wasn't sure how they were going to handle that. But they also have said that imagine that they've said location-wise, they didn't really confirm anything, but they said imagine it being based really towards the far north of England. So who knows what that could mean for the rest of the game? I mean, there's a lot of people that have been asking me whether or not it's going to make use of those bridges at the top of the map. I still highly doubt it. I still think that there's going to be a fast travel dynamic that'll take you up there to Fortune Island. Even though it is based up north, I still don't think they're going to make use of those bridges. If they do, it'd be crazy, but I do not believe that that's where the direction of this is going. So that's something that I think, you know, that would be good for you to keep in mind. And also, there's going to be a large beach area around the whole map that will have tons of caves that you can explore and potentially find cool stuff in. So if you guys enjoyed this video detailing Fortune Island and everything we know so far, make sure to slam that like button. Tell me in the comments below what y'all thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to y'all later. Oh, and by the way, the game told me it was time for unbeatable difficulty, and I was like, are you sure about that? And then I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm going to run it, and there you go. So, it actually didn't go too bad. But, again, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.